All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Excuse me. Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room, Monday, July 31st, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzalez, and joined by Marcus Fine. How's it going, guys?
Good. Well, maybe we'll go ahead and get things started with Chris. We'll do some sharing some things there. Real quick, I just want to touch on a couple of things with pro wrestling. I watched all the shows this week. I thought Monday Night Raw was the best show of the week. It's weird because at one time SmackDown was the wrestling show and Raw was more like a variety show. Triple H taking over. Raw is more the wrestling show. And I wouldn't say SmackDown's a variety show by any means. It's not, but it's more of the storytelling show. So pretty interesting there. Watched NXT last night. I thought it was a very good premium live event. I guess they don't call it pay-per-view anymore. Match of the night for me was Carmelo Hayes and Dragunov. They beat the holy crap out of each other. I thought but the whole show was real good. Really enjoyed it. Also, I give AEW a hard time sometimes. I do think they're getting better. I do see some more storytelling, especially on the Saturday night show, which mostly I get to see highlights because I'm usually not here. Usually gone doing wrestling shows and things. But I think they are slowly trying to do some more storytelling. The main thing is, can they stick with it? That's been the biggest problem. They'll start a story, and it'll last 3 weeks, and then it's over with. So we'll see how it goes from there. Chris, what did you think of the NXT Sunday?
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't see all of it, but I saw most of it. I really thought the Carmelo Hayes and Dragunov match was real good at the end. I thought Gable Steveson had a pretty good debut.
Yeah, some fans online, because he took on Baron Corbin, and they were for Baron Corbin and kind of booing. Chris, help me with his name. Gable Steveson. They was kind of booing him, and people said, "Well, they're going to have a big problem if they're going to boo him." And but like my response is, "Why are they going to have a problem?" People started booing Kurt Angle when he first came in, and he became a great big heel for him. So I don't think it's going to be an issue either way. But he looked good. He looked pretty good. Well, wanted to touch on something that we did this weekend before we get into the wrestling. We went to a big cookout, big event that's been going on, if I remember correctly. They said for 11 years now. Mm-hmm. It was my first year. I know it was Chris's second. I believe it was Marcus' second time going, if I remember correctly. Just an outstanding cookout, party, event, whatever you want to call it. But friends getting together, I guess. But I thought it was really fantastic. And the food was fantastic, and the people were fantastic. Marcus, you got any thoughts on that?
I couldn't say it better.
Okay.
That's we look forward to that forever. Like I said, we was watching the weather all week, hoping it didn't rain out, but you couldn't have had a better day for what we did Saturday. So,
no, it was nice. It was a great event.
Yeah, yeah. Couldn't ask for better weather. Didn't get too hot. Didn't rain.
The only time the sun came out was whenever I decided to go to the porta pot. And then the sun decided to come out and shine right on that porta pot.
Would scorch you in the pot. Yep.
Yeah, I'd come out of the pot, then the sun go away. That's the way it seemed
Hey,
like.
how's it go? How's it going? Excuse me. How's it going, Billy? Watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. Welcome, David.
Yeah, David, welcome.
Hey, Kelly. Glenn said NXT Great American Bash was awesome.
I thought it was really good.
How's it
show.
going, Glenn?
I tell you what was cool. They opened up the show, Marcus, with of course, with some stuff with Dusty doing some speeches and different things. But then Cody Rhodes came on the screen and talked about the history of the Great American Bash, and they had a lot of different clips and stuff. Some with Dusty, some with the NXT wrestlers. Now, I thought it was really well done. Which WWE does that stuff great anyway.
He said he wants to see an NXT premium live event in Indy. And then he also said that Melo Hayes' chest going to need some pain relief cream.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'd say Carmelo Hayes took probably about 20 chops at least. And Carmelo's a darker skinned guy, and he was very, very red. he took a beating. I doubt if he's ever took a beating like that. But he did retain the belt, though, in a great match. Well, Friday, me and Chris took a visit down to WCWO, and one of the rare times Marcus didn't get to make it. WCWO, which was a good move on your part, Marcus. It was very, very hot.
Everybody I talked to said it was hot.
Yes, it was. And we wasn't. Yeah, I went out there into the main crowd a couple of times. We was back in a video room. The video room was a lot better than it was out there under the lights and stuff. That's for sure. But Chris, what do you think of Friday's show? I thought it was a real solid show. We'll be airing in here, I think, in a couple of weeks. But I thought it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a real solid show. I thought the main event was a real interesting match, and then you had some other good matches on there. Logan Myers, Zay Gates was another one that really stood out to me as well. So I thought it was a good night of action. It was hot. It was that you're right. It wasn't as hot back there where we was as it was up there, but it was still hot. Most people were trying to hang out outside, out back until they had to come in.
Yeah, Chris was getting mad at me because I would be up towards the mic and you couldn't hear the fan, but if I leaned back just a little bit, try to get a little air, right in the microphone. Chris said, "Hey," I had to move back up.
He stopped trying to get some breeze. I was like, I get no breeze over here, neither you. Because if wearing those headsets, well, it had done the same thing to these mics too. But you turn that fan and it was blowing right into that mic, and it was just the whole time in your ear. I was like, "That we can't have that."
It didn't bother me.
I'm sure it didn't bother you.
Okay, well, that brings us to Sunday night. Marcus did go to WCWO and got to see a rookie show. I think it did feature some of the regular wrestlers too, but it featured several rookies. And also, but I didn't know this, Marcus. I don't know if you know this. You may. I guess one of the rookies couldn't make it because wasn't there because he had to have a appendicitis. So there was. I didn't know. Yeah, Chris had told me that a rookie that they're very high on couldn't do the show because he had been feeling bad and he went to the doctor and had to have his appendix removed. So there's one, I guess, that they're very.
To show up.
Yep.
I've had that happen, so I know what that's like. So
David said he was glad Prestigious Worldwide went on first Friday night.
Friday night, yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Kevin?
what's up, Kevin? Have you seen the picture Kevin posted today?
I was going to mention that. If you go ahead and mention it.
All right. Kevin does custom poker chips. Kevin will have to remind me. I don't know if he went down there and delivered them in person. I think he might have. Or sent them to Hogan's Beach Shop in Florida. And and a picture came back today that Hulk Hogan's holding one of those chips. So
I seen that. That's cool.
it's big news there for Kevin. I'm proud of you, buddy. And you want custom poker chips, any kind of designed artwork, chairs, whatever, hit up Kevin. And if he can do it, he'll tell you. He's very fair. And if he can't, he'll just tell you he can't. But Kevin's very talented. So
Yes, he
Hogan
is.
like it. I don't know any better right now. And he's had it in, I think, 27 states. He's got poker chips now, I think he told me. He can, if he's still on there, I'm sure he'll chime in.
Yeah.
But
The one sitting right here.
he made some for them guys. And
Kevin says here that he went to Hogan's store May 1st and met the store owner. And he also said 19 states.
19 states.
Well, Marcus, give us the rundown of what you're seeing on Sunday with the rookies. No mind?
Okay, well, first, I got to make a statement.
Okay.
I think you know where this is going. I've been paid an undisclosed amount of money. What else? That Ref Luigi is the best referee to ever step into the squared circle, not just in Indiana, but in the entire world.
Okay.
That's my plug. If anybody wants me to plug you on this show, just hit me up in my PM, and we'll see what we can work out. But that's what I was told yesterday. So, okay, I'll have to say the rookie show was outstanding. 6 wrestlers and 1 referee, and the referee will also be a wrestler, but he's been doing refereeing work. Trained under Tommy Two Shoes, who's his senior referee for WCWO, has been for years. Kid's very good at what he does. Tommy Two Shoes came out and just bragged up one side and down the other on this kid, and his name's Kevin. And he refereed some of the matches last night. 6 different wrestlers. Love the gimmicks. Very good gimmicks. This is a good group of people. I guess Dex Royal is the head trainer of these guys, and he came out and made a statement that he couldn't be prouder of these guys, and we all agreed that these guys are doing fantastic work. They will go far somewhere.
Good.
So the very first match was territorial champion Hidari. Hidari has a brand new look. Did you guys see him Friday? Was he doing like more of a Kamala type look? Not necessarily the painted stomach, but new tights and new ring music.
No,
not really.
no, he had the same on Fridays. That must have been the first time.
Oh yeah, you ought to see this. I love it. More African looking, like Kamala.
I seen pictures.
Yeah. I think he's healing now too. I don't know when that took place, but he defeated Tajon Cage. Now Tajon has wrestled probably about 6 months now, but he was in the rookie class. A guy named Reyes. He's a lucha gimmick, mask and all. You're gonna not believe a lot of what I tell you, but I was there. I seen it. I have to give it to the veterans for putting these guys over, because Reyes defeated Jackson Morgan via submission.
Really?
Now, and he was very good. A guy named the Hoosier Hot Boy, Kurt Bousset. Skinny type guy, but very muscled. Very tall, very slinky, muscled fella. He defeated Damian Real. Then they had Zay Gates defeated Logan Myers and Logan Myers and Jake Phoenix to retain the Gunslinger title in a 3-way. And then Wiley was out on the floor. So the Buck Sexton was the guest ring announcer for last night. Yep. See, give me a second, Dave. Just a second. I'll get it. But yeah. D-Buck Sexton attacked Wiley and laid him out on the floor. Well, Daniel, if you want me to plug you, buddy, send me some info. We'll go for it. But anyway, so guest ring announcer laid out Wiley out on the floor after that match. And then we did a kind of an intermission where they announced the upcoming shows coming up. But then after that, Always Loud, Timmy Jackson, which is the ring announcer on most nights, defeated Damon Real. And turnaround's fair play because Buck doesn't want people announcing him. Timmy was not about to let D-Buck announce him, so he took the microphone away from him, announced himself, handed it back to Buck. Buck says, "Well, that's how it feels, huh?" He said, "Well, I ain't gonna stop doing it that way." But so then Timmy Jackson defeated Damon Real, and we know what he looks like because I think he was at the Bearcat Rumble. That's the persona he's going with. Waterboy Cameron Stewart. Now you guys know who this is. He's one that was helping to reset the boards at Jay County. He defeated Max Sterling, and he's going places. And then the Outlaw champion Dex Royal defeated a guy named War Ready Maliko. Looks like a Samoan gimmick. I don't know if that's where he's going with it, but right now that's what he looks like.
Okay.
A Samoan gimmick. So yeah, outstanding crowd. Those guys did fantastic. Then after the show, or after that match, Dex Royal said how well this kid's doing, shook his hand, then low blowed him and laughed and said, "Well, that's welcome to the wrestling," and left. So
The interesting thing, because we've talked about it before, all of us, about different shows you go to, and Marcus said it was happened again yesterday that 5 minutes before the show, there's hardly anybody in the crowd. He said he looks up 5 minutes later and the place is completely
Kelly
packed.
said it. She says they're packed back there, and I looked 5 minutes before bell time, and there was probably nobody past second row. And then when I looked again, there was a ton of people back there. And it was funny because when this Kurt Bousset was behind, his mama must have been behind us, and she was yelling, "I did not pay to see you lose, boy," and we're just losing it. But he ended up beating it. You're in my top 30, Travis, maybe 20. What's up, Chris?
What's up?
I love you, country. You know that.
Hey, how's it going, Cameron?
There's Cameron. See, I just plugged him. Did a fine job last night, Cameron. I got the first ever Cameron Stewart autograph last night.
Yeah, I saw you post it.
So that's what took place.
Okay, well,
Hey, Justin.
our next topic we had on the agenda is who invented famous wrestling moves.
You just
And,
came on too late there, Cameron. You got to back up maybe 2 minutes, but you go back and rewind it. Watch it later.
And some people out there, you guess this if you think you know who invented these. I know this one, the first one I'm gonna go with, may surprise some people. I know Marcus knows because I've told him. Who invented the chokeslam? See if anybody's got any guess out there. This one was really surprised me when I looked it up and found out who did it. Some of them I knew, some of the stuff, and some of them I didn't. Undertaker? Nope, that's a good guess. That's what probably most people would guess.
It wasn't Rey Mysterio, so don't say that.
Reno? Nope. I'm going to let one more guess come up and then I'm going to give it out. Sid maybe. Nope, it was Paul Heyman and 911 invented the chokeslam. That
That's
was
that time when he kept saying, "Call 911." That big dick. Well, that guy was like 7 foot tall, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a tall dude. You remember? You may know this one, Marcus, and if you do, that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead and give it out. I don't care. Who invented the 450 splash? This one surprised me. I knew it too, but I forgot. And then when I read it, I'm like, wait a minute.
I don't know. I think I'd seen it, but I don't know.
You know, Chris? Who invented the 450 splash?
I was trying to think of who it was.
You know,
I think who, like, first I saw it. Glenn says Psychosis.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to say luchadors, and it wasn't a luchador.
Who to Guerrero.
It was
Rey Mysterio, Cameron says.
It was Scott Steiner.
did he ever do a 450
known that.
splash?
Yes.
Well, it must
Sure
have been
did.
before he beefed up because I
Yeah.
thought he'd be too top heavy after
He was
a
still,
while.
yeah, he wasn't the blonde hair dude. It was, back in WCW early Steiner's, Rick and
Yeah.
Scott.
It was still him, and he was still with. It was still Steiner brothers.
Yeah, still Steiner brothers. But yeah, he did that. Marcus, I know you know this. Chris knows it because I think I told him. Let's see if people out there should know this. Who invented the super kick? I know Marcus knows that.
I have to say I don't. I mean, I probably do, but I.
Oh, you know? Kelly Fine, she did.
She got it.
No, she said me.
She invented the super kick.
Like knowing that
HBK,
happened.
no, he's the one that probably made it famous. No,
No wonder you heard Kelly. You got a good dad.
Marcus, I know you're going to know this once I tell you.
I'm sure I do.
think somebody
We've
just put
talked
down.
about it.
Yeah, Billy Buzz knows this one. Chris Adams.
Oh
World
yes,
class. Chris Adams.
we did. We talked about that too.
This one.
That's the only reason I knew is because
I told
we
him.
had talked about it.
This one surprised me. Who invented this? Who invented the suplex? I was shocked about this.
And how far back are we going? Because that move's been around for a long time.
Well, this guy was around in the 80s. He probably could have been wrestling, I'd say, in the 70s too, late 70s.
Pedro Morales.
No, that's not. Well, it's not what I have.
Oh, I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Somebody said Bruno. They're all good guesses. Bruno, Billy Graham. No, the Dynamite Kid.
Really, I thought the suplex was around longer than that.
That's what I would have thought too. Now maybe a certain kind of suplex. Maybe more of the.
Would have to because Bob Orton was doing the superplex.
Yeah.
And that was in the late 80s, early 80s.
This is going to surprise a bunch of people. If anybody gets this, I'll be shocked because there was no way I would ever thought so. Who invented the Styles Clash?
I have no idea. I honestly, I thought it was AJ Styles.
I did too.
Fujinami.
Yeah, was it a Japanese wrestler?
What Daniel says.
No, it wasn't a Japanese guy. It was a big name guy.
Cameron said the same thing as me, AJ. That's who I thought.
He didn't call it the Styles Clash. He didn't call it the Clash, but it was called something else. Give one more guess if somebody's got one here.
Cesaro.
No, it was. I was shocked. Diamond Dallas Page. It was called the Diamond Clash.
Wow.
The Diamond Cutter or the RKO. I think a lot of people might know this. And the RKO or the Diamond Cutter, I'll give you this. It was not invented by DDP or Randy Orton. It was invented by somebody else. And I can't give you the original name because it would give away who it is.
Was it somebody Page managed?
I don't think he managed him, but he would have been around him quite a bit.
Okay. So I was going to say the Diamond Stud, who ended up in being Razor and Scott Hall.
And it was the name he went by. I'll go ahead and give it. The name of the move was called the Ace Crusher. It was invented by Johnny Ace, who is John Laurinaitis.
Really, I didn't think that guy knew how to do anything. Piece people.
Billy Buzz just had putting it up. Okay. The Death Valley Driver or an attitude adjustment. Now, this is going to be probably nobody's going to get it because I never would have got it. But it was invented by a female.
By who?
By a female wrestler. And it's 7 o'clock, folks.
7 o'clock.
Attitude adjustment or Death Valley Driver.
You got a time frame? 80s?
I'm going to say it was early 80s. Could have been late 70s.
Wendy Richter.
Nobody's gonna get this because it was a Japanese wrestler, and I don't know if I can even pronounce it. Atsuki Minta.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either. The moonsault.
I have no idea.
The moonsault was invented, I will tell you, it was by a Mexican wrestler. I will say that. And I still don't think that's going to help anybody get it. I never would have got it. I would have said Japanese or a Mexican wrestler with a moonsault, but it was a Mexican wrestler.
A well-known Mexican wrestler.
Family was. I think he was, but this was kind of like maybe he was probably more the 70s.
Mil Mascaras, was it? Right family? Wrong family? I'm trying to think of early.
No.
Pedro. No, he is Puerto Rican. Or was he?
Glenn said Muda.
That wasn't Muda. It was a Guerrero. It was
Mystico.
Mondo Guerrero.
Mondo Guerrero. Okay.
He was the one who invented the moonsault. The next one is the jackhammer, which the jackhammer was done by Goldberg. He didn't invent it, and it was invented by a female. And I'm just going to give it because it's a Japanese wrestler. G.W.R. Yokota. She was the one that did the jackhammer first. The next one, see if anybody. I don't even know who this gentleman is. Invented the drop kick.
Well,
This was a long time ago.
It'd have to
I think
be.
I was gonna give it out.
Hang on a minute. American?
Yes.
Is he the one that didn't wear shoes?
I'm not sure on that.
I can't think of his name. I have a good idea of who I've got in my head. I just can't. I mean, we're talking way back.
Yeah, I never heard of this guy before. This was probably who knows, might have been the 20s, 30s.
Daniel says Gordo. Glenn says Luthez.
It was invented by Abe Coleman.
The
drop kick.
What else thinking?
Now, Marcus, you probably remember this. Who was the first female to do a drop kick?
Probably Moolah.
No, along those lines though.
So it must have been her buddy, Mae Young.
Mae Young was the first lady to ever do a drop kick. Next up, the DDT. And I know people, it wasn't called the DDT when it was put together. And people were going to say Jake the Snake Robertson. That's what I thought. But then when I did some research, it was a different gentleman.
And that's weird because Jake claimed he accidentally invented the DDT because he slipped and fell.
And they said this move was used quite a bit. I'll give you the name because some people are going to think it's going to give it away. It won't. The original name was a Diamond Twist. That wasn't Diamond Dallas Page. Not seeing any guesses, so I'm going to give it out. And, I actually seen this name a minute ago, but I think they said Gordo, but the name that did the Diamond Twist or the DDT was Black Boardman.
Oh, shoot. I've heard that. Have you ever seen him?
Yes.
Pretty aggressive guy.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I seen him. Next up, I've got the Power Bomb. And I think this was going to surprise some people who invented this. Give me some guesses out there, guys, on the Power Bomb.
Vader.
It wasn't Vader. He probably one of the best ones to do it. But
yeah, I thought he did it better than Nash did.
Or Billy Graham. Nope. A very famous. Some people would say, as far as in-ring wrestling, one of the greatest of all times.
Luthez.
Yep.
But I can't see. Did he? I can't see him doing a move like that.
He was the one that originated the Powerbomb.
Wow. Now I'm going to go look and watch him do one because he was more.
Glenn said his name earlier about on one of the other ones.
Okay, next up, and I'm going to tell everybody this here. Sharpshooter, Scorpion Deathlock, either one what you want to call it. It was not Sting, and it was not Bret the Hitman Hart that invented that move.
It was a Japanese guy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Because I seen this just the other day. But it's one of them names you can't pronounce, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
I have trouble with American names, let alone.
Tony gave me this project, and I finally, after 2 days, like, Tony, I can't do it. I can't find nothing. So
Okay.
my part of the show is a little different. So
yeah, the sharpshooter was done by Ricky Choshu. I remember that name. I mean, he was big in Japanese wrestling.
That's not as bad as I thought. Ricky Choshu, yeah, it's big Japanese.
I know you know this one, Marcus. Don't tell anybody. I want to see if anybody guesses it. The Tombstone Pile Driver. I told you who.
Anybody that watched last week's show would know this, so we'll see who remembers.
Yep. Yeah, because I gave it away last week. The Tombstone Pile Driver. And there's actually video of this.
Yeah, there's a few videos on YouTube because I went and watched it. So he executed it perfectly.
Would you what?
David remembers.
Yeah, he remembered. Andre the Giant is correct. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Who would ever thought? I wouldn't want to take one from Andre the Giant. I wouldn't want to take one from anybody. But
yeah, but if you look, it was from 1972, and Andre was just a tall, normal-sized guy. Then he wasn't.
Yes.
I wouldn't, for Andre, his proportions were decent. So
yeah,
I still wouldn't want to do it because he's higher up off the ground. But
Shooting Star Press. Pretty famous name. I'll give it a Japanese wrestler. Give a hint.
Jumbo Shruda.
Somebody guessed Muda. That wasn't Muda. It was Justin Thunder Liger. Then the Shooting Star Press. This one, everybody's going to know as soon as I say it, so I don't even know why I put it on here. Doomsday Device, of course, was invented by the Road Warriors.
Yep, they did that in Lafayette.
Now, this one surprised me. Top rope wrist lock, basically kind of like what Undertaker does to a certain degree, walking the rope and stuff. This was invented by a wrestler that was probably 70s, maybe some in the 80s.
Big name.
Damon Road. Damien. Did you put that out there?
No, I haven't put it up.
Put it up here. Put it up here.
I will.
Damien. That's awesome.
A big name?
Did you have a guess, Marcus?
No, I'm trying to think. 70s, 80s. I'm trying to think who would have done that back then.
Danny said Jushin, Pedro Morales.
Was it Pedro?
It wasn't Pedro.
That is true. That is true. We had a
nope. The top rope wrist lock was invented by the Spoiler, mass wrestler.
Spoiler. Yeah, that does go back.
Yeah, that could be early 70s possibly.
Yeah,
never heard of this.
Yeah.
Never heard of the dude.
I think most people's going to get this next to the figure four. And it wasn't Ric Flair.
There's.
No, it was invented by Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
That's right.
Okay.
I remember that. I'm not saying you're correct. I just remember seeing him use it. So
now the abdominal stretch.
I know. Don Morocco liked that move, but I'm pretty sure he's not the one that invented it.
It was Wilbur Snyder.
Wow.
And David was putting Wilbur Snyder up right as you said that it popped up.
Only got about 3
more. Do it.
I'm going to do this one first because everybody should know this. Who invented the Samoa drop?
Samoan.
It was a Samoan, but which Samoan?
Hi, Chief.
I would have thought that too, but they say no. Uh, they say Alfonsinka.
Okay, so same generation,
Yep.
same part of the
Okay.
tree.
Next to the backbreaker. Who invented the backbreaker? And I will tell you that it's probably nobody's gonna get it because it was a Japanese wrestler. Aiko Godo.
I don't know enough Japanese wrestlers.
Well, no, I don't know that one
And
either.
I remember the name Godo, but I don't, the last one I have on my list is the sleeper hold. Who invented the sleeper hold?
Oh, a lot of people use that.
Yep.
Try to think back to like older guys that used to use it.
You're not gonna know this guy.
Are we talking 70s,
time.
maybe even 60s, right?
I would say maybe even 60s.
David says Backlund. Glenn says
Yeah,
Piper.
Piper did it a lot too, but yeah, no. You guys going to have to think. You're going to have to get in the early 70s, maybe early 60s. I really don't remember. I remember this guy from seeing him in some magazines, but he was towards the end of his career, probably then. Strangler Ed Lewis invented the sleeper. Okay, we got two more things on our agenda, and Marcus, I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'll do our baby face brackets that I've put together.
Okay. Like I said, Tony gave me the who invented this, and we couldn't find nothing. He said we probably overlap anyway. So then he gave me pro wrestlers born in the state of Indiana. And I looked it up, said, okay, I hit a gold mine. And we're going to do this, start as a all today. But then after I told him how many I found, we were going to split it up to over 2 or 3 weeks. And then after I started researching, this could be a weekly event for a while.
Yep.
So we might
That's
do
what we're gonna do.
spotlights. I got 3. One's more of a story because I didn't find a lot about it, but this story. I'll do the short one. Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson is an AEW wrestler, right?
Yep.
Okay, he's part of the factory.
Yes.
Okay. He was born on December 13th, 1997 in Gary, Indiana. He was trained by A.R. Fox and QT Marshall, which he does a lot of work because QT Marshall is also part of the factory.
Yes.
He debuted in 2017, trained and started his career in what was called the World Wrestling Alliance 4. Made his debut on April 7th in 2020. Debuted on AEW in a dark match and lost to QT Marshall, which is his trainer. And he ranked 315 in the 2021 Top 500. So, a very new career. So, see us in a year.
Yeah, I didn't know he was from Indiana. I've seen him wrestle, but I didn't know he's from Indiana.
If you see this list, you'll be shocked at who was all born in Indiana. So, okay. Now, this is the story before I do the bio on the main one for this week. Alex Karras, or how do you say it, Tony?
Alex Karras, that's right.
Yeah. More known for being a football player. Well, that's what his claim to fame is football. But before he signed with the Detroit Lions, he debuted in 1957. Basically, we had about a 7-year career. And all I could find on his stuff, he was a powerhouse wrestler. He was part of a tag team for a while. He feuded with Dick the Bruiser, and that's basically his claim to fame because he did for his wrestling career. And have you heard of the barroom brawl? This is the story I want to tell.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'll call it Alex. Alex and Dick was supposed to wrestle in Detroit, Michigan, and they were doing a spot in a bar called the Lindell Bar, which Alex was part owner with a couple of brothers. I guess he had to be part owner because I guess he got suspended for a while out of the football, and he had to make money. And I'm sure Glenn's on there, and he knows the story on Alex's football career, he can back that up. What started out as a publicity stunt, and it was to promote a match between the two of them, Dick and Alex. It turned into an all-out fight. Um, the spot was Bruiser walked in. He was pointed at Alex, yelled some stuff I can't say because it was very censored, and they didn't even have it in the report. That's how censored it was. I told him to get him a drink. One of the owners refused to serve Dick, and he's part of this spot. I guess everybody in the bar was part of the spot, so I'd like to know who was all in the bar, because back then Bruiser wouldn't let that cat out of the bag. So I'm guessing everybody in the bar was part of this, knew already. But and he refused to give him a drink, so Bruiser grabbed him, threw a punch, tore his shirt. Everybody was in on this work except the guy's uncle, who happened to walk in the time Bruiser had a hold of him. He thought this was a real shoot fight, as they would put it. He grabbed the pool stick, smacked Bruiser in the head, caused 5 stitches under his left eye. And Bruiser went, Bruiser. Because now he's pissed because he got hurt doing this stunt, tore a peanut machine off the wall, threw it at a TV. Some of the guys in the bar tried to subdue him, and of course, you know, that's just a worthless cause because Bruiser was so tough. Well, all this time, Alex, he left. He didn't wait part of it. So he backed out the back door. So while all this is going on, Alex said bye-bye. So these cops went by the bar, looked in there and see that all hell was breaking loose. And it took 8 cops to subdue Dick the Bruiser. They put wrist and ankle bracelets on him. 2 policemen got hurt. Of course, Dick made bail because he's made a lot of money. He went to court and was arraigned on assault and battery charges. He ended up having to pay the 2 cops $50,000. I don't know if they split that or if that was a piece, but the payout was $50,000 because he injured these police officers. Well, when it was time to face each other in the famed Olympia Arena in Detroit, and I don't think that building's there anymore. We're talking 1963. The match only grew 10,000 fans. It only lasted 11 minutes, and the fans weren't happy at all. So that's all.
Yeah, he wrestled while his football career was going on because he really didn't wrestle too much after his football career was over.
Right. Well, he was suspended there for a while, so I think he did that. He debuted in 1957, and I'm thinking we're not even talking a decade. He wasn't in it very long.
Yeah, he played for the Detroit Lions from 58 to 70. And Marcus, you would probably remember him. Do you remember the movie Blazing Saddles?
Yep, that came up.
He played Mongo in that show, in that movie, and he also was did more acting. He played in Webster, the show from 1983 to 1989. So some people out there who may not remember Alex Karras, football player, may remember Alex Karras, the actor.
I didn't write down where he was born. He was born in
Hey,
Indiana.
YouTube.
Did I say it?
Gary, Indiana, if I remember right.
I think Gary was the guy before.
He was born in Gary also.
Oh, was he?
1930.
I didn't write it down. Maybe that's why. Okay. Our spotlight.
He went to Gary Emerson High School.
And I didn't even know he was a wrestler until me and Tony was talking, and Tony remembered, but
yeah,
it was so brief. But he did have that big feud.
I remember the pictures from the wrestling magazines. Is how I remember. Hey, Damien had a question real quick. See what you guys think. Actually, I thought he was already in. I was wondering about Pee Wee Herman, who just passed away, whether he might make it into the WWE Hall of Fame because he had been on WWE Monday Night Raw at least once, maybe more than once. I thought he was already in the Hall of Fame. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do I think he will? Probably next year. Possibly, since he just passed away this year. He may be in the next class.
It could be.
I kind of just assumed he was.
Yeah, me too.
Glenn said he thought the same, that he thinks he should be in.
We also lost the exotic 8 Street today.
Yes.
Very underrated legend, in my opinion. That's another guy I would have loved to have seen in person.
Have you seen the documentary on Peacock on him?
Yes.
It's very good.
He pushed the boundaries before it was a thing.
Yeah.
The way he dressed, the way he acted, very well. He did his gimmick very well.
And he was tough, dude.
Yeah.
He was a tough man.
So, okay, we ready for our spotlight of the week?
Yep.
All right, I chose Flash Flanagan. Everybody, I think, in Indiana at one time has seen Flash Flanagan. Have you guys seen Flash Flanagan in action?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Was you at the first Warrior Pro?
No.
Okay. Flash Flanagan was in the very first Warrior Pro Wrestling. All right, Flash Flanagan, born April 6, 1974 in Indianapolis, Indiana. He debuted in 1992. He was trained by Wolfie D, Billy Travis, Nick Dinsmore, which is Eugene, and Stephen Dunn, just to name a few. He lost to Brian Christopher on a Monday Night Raw one night. I also remember him being a part of some kind of a battle royal. He came out as a Russian. It was where Kurt Angle was a conquistador. And I think it was whoever could wrestle Baron Corbin, I think is what it ended up being, the winner of the battle royal.
Okay.
You remember that? Kurt Angle sitting out on the sideline.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
All right, well, Flash Flanagan was in that as the Russian, and they didn't remember what his name was. And he went over and he says, well, that guy got eliminated. He later was also an EMT, and I don't know, somebody got hurt in his EMT. Yeah, Flash is a good man. And you'll see why when I get into this. Because David's worked with Flash, or Buck has down in Hoosier Pro. So, let's see. He worked in TNA as Cobain. He worked in IWA Puerto Rico as Slash Venom. And now I remember that gimmick. He worked for Ring of Honor. And, of course, throughout Indiana. Now, I personally have seen him in NWA Indiana and Lafayette. Of course, Hoosier Pro Wrestling down in Columbus. EWF in Converse. Wrestle Arts in Franklin. And, of course, he was at the debut show for Warrior Pro Wrestling. Many, many titles. Hoosier Pro Wrestling, he was a 3-time heavyweight champion, a 1-time tri-state champ, and he went into the Hoosier Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2014. In IWA Puerto Rico, 1-time heavyweight champ, 1-time intercontinental, 4-time tag, 5-time hardcore. In OVW, 4-time heavyweight, 1-time TV title, 1-time hardcore, 5-time tag. A brief stint in Pennsylvania Championship Wrestling where he was a 1-time champ and a 1-time tag. And this surprised me, and I'm not so sure this is totally accurate. I always seen he was in the PWI Top 500 once, and he ranked at 122 in 1999. I'm pretty sure he's been in there more than that.
Yeah.
That's just the only one that came up. He worked for Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. Must have been there a while because he's a 5-time Championship Wrestling Classic champion, a 4-time, and he's a current tag team champion there, so he's working there now.
Okay.
So 4-time current tag team champion. USWA, that was a Jerry Lawler company, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. 6-time tag champ. XCW, Midwest heavyweight champion 1 time. Music City Wrestling, 1-time tag champ. NWA, 1-time NWA North American tag title. He's a former New Era Wrestling champion and a former NWA Heritage title champion in NWA Midwest. So, that's all I got. Let me see what page 2 looks like. Yeah. So, yeah, Flash Flanagan has quite a career, and he's still at it. I haven't seen him, like I said, since Warrior Pro, the first day of Warrior Pro, but evidently he's wrestling in Illinois somewhere.
Marcus, how old is he now?
Well, he was born in '74, so he's getting ready to be 50.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's our
Well, we
highlight
seen-
for the week.
I don't know if you remember, we seen Flash Flanagan actually here in Muncie. Show.
Was that
what I
there
have,
at the ball at that one building?
this was at the fairgrounds. This has been quite a few years ago. Well, I got here I got babyface brackets, and what's interesting about these brackets, I've got a few different sets because I did them from different reports, and it's weird on who they ranked in the top 10. That's kind of interesting. Chris, you got a pen? Because I forgot my pen. Oh, maybe we would see what we think. The first one I have is the top 10 baby faces from Bleacher Report. Their number one person was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Their number 9 was Tito Santana. Number 8 was Rey Mysterio. So I got these bracketed off. Who would you pick between Rey Mysterio and Tito Santana as babyface? Now this is top babyface.
You mean it's popular?
Yep.
Or it would have to be Rey Mysterio, even though I like Tito better. But
I think you'd have to go with Rey. I think.
yeah,
Chris, you
Rey
agree?
because he's
Okay,
still active,
Number 10 on their list was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And number 7 on their list, and they'll be going against each other here for most popular, Kevin Von Erich.
Depends on where he's at. I will have to go with Hacksaw. But if you're in Texas, I have to go with Kevin.
He was in Texas, but I think Hacksaw was big in Mid-South, and he was pretty big in WWE too.
And WCW.
Okay, next match. Okay, we'll start now since we've went through the 10. So that's going to be your number 1 against your number 8. That's going to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was your number 1. Okay, him against Rey Mysterio.
All right, let other people answer first.
Who was more popular out there? People, was it top baby faces as a baby face? Who was more popular, Rey Mysterio or Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
We're getting some Rays. Ricky.
That's really, really tough for me.
I'm gonna say Steamboat.
Mine's Steamboat.
I'm old school. I think Steamboat. Of course, Damian's younger. He thinks Rey.
Kevin says Ricky. Billy says Ricky.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Ricky. Our 4 and 5 matchup. Number 4 on their list was Hulk Hogan. Number 5 on the list was Rock and Roll Express. I think you got to go Hogan. I know the Rock and Roll Express was big, too.
Yeah, those poor fellas should not be bracketed with Hogan. Hogan, that's what I'm going to say.
Our number 3 matchup against number 6. This is going to be tough. Number 3 was Dusty Rhodes on their list. Number 6 was John Cena.
Oh, well, I'm going to say Dusty because I'm not really care for John Cena, but let them decide.
If it was up to me, I'd say Dusty, but John Cena was huge, man. The merchandise he sold.
Well, I'm not giving him that. Oh, I mean, I am giving him that. Yeah, John Cena is very good, very popular. And if I had the chance to meet him right now, I'd do it, but he's just not,
Getting more so far, getting
all Dusties.
Really?
We got one Cena.
David said Cena, he said it was a hard one.
I'm going to say we're going to go with Dusty. And then our next matchup
who
before we get to
Cena?
semifinals.
Who said
before
Cena?
we get to
David Kraft.
David Kraft said Cena?
Yep.
An old school wrestling? Good. David, you let me down, buddy.
Okay.
Our person like
next,
you with a big Glenn, get a hold of him.
You know what the bad thing is? That's wrong.
Okay, we're doing babyface brackets, and this first bracket, the reason I'm saying this is because somebody was asking. Damien Neville wanted to know what we're discussing here. This one, we got some other brackets, and they're all babyface, but this one was from Bleacher Report. Right now, we got the number 10 guy Hacksaw Jim Duggan, going against the number 2 guy, which is Sting.
Sting
I
against you?
Sting against Hacksaw. I think you got to go with Sting.
That's a no-brainer, yeah. I agree with you, David, under those criteria, yes.
Okay, our final 4. Our first matchup is number 1 seed Ricky the Dragon Steamboat against the number 4 seed Hulk Hogan. I think popularity-wise, I think you got to go with Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
I prefer Steamboat, but now this is a tough one. Number 3 seed Dusty Rhodes against the number 2 seed Sting. I'm gonna go with Dusty because Dusty wrestled everywhere. Sting was more regional.
Depends on what era you're in.
I'm gonna go with Dusty because if we put Dusty over Cena, and Cena to me it was more popular than Sting.
I think so. Everybody's saying Dusty. Okay, guys, finals. Hulk Hogan in this bracket. Hulk Hogan against Dusty Rhodes.
I gotta go with Hogan.
Yeah,
he was so popular. I mean,
I don't want to, but I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that I want to, because Hogan he's my favorite.
Everybody's saying Hogan.
Well, you're just mad because you never could see him live. That's what your problem is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm still pissed about that. Okay, this next bracket is a babyface bracket. It's a totally different bracket than what this one was. This is from CBR.com. Their number 1 seed was Stone Cold Steve Austin. We'll go with the 9-8 matchup first. Number 9, Hangman Adam Page was their number 9 top 10 babyface of all time.
Who?
I'm telling you. Hangman Adam Page from AEW. He's going to be taking on number 8, Dusty Rhodes.
As soon as I saw that, I wouldn't even wrote that.
No, I did it because I wanted to. So you got there are some interesting matchups on this though. So, but not that one.
I agree with that.
Dusty Rhodes is going to go over.
I agree with that.
Hangman Adam Page. Okay, this is a tough one. Number 5 matchup against number 4 matchup. Rey Mysterio against Mick Foley.
Ooh, I'll go Foley.
I'm gonna go Foley.
I want to see what people say about that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Glenn says Foley. Cameron says Foley. Daniel says Foley.
Okay. Next matchup: Bryan Danielson
Foley
versus The Rock.
Everybody coming back. Damian DeVille, Kevin Mitchell. Everybody's Foley.
Bryan Danielson versus The Rock.
Rock.
Yeah. I love Bryan. I love Bryan Danielson.
But I'm going to go with The Rock.
Popularity-wise, I mean, babyface, I think he's one of the better babyfaces of all time. Next matchup. This is going to be interesting to see what people think. Remember, this is babyface. That's babyface. The Hardy Boys versus Becky Lynch. This is the number 10 the Hardy Boys against number 7 Becky Lynch on their list.
So Becky's the number 7 babyface of all time?
That's what they have.
Hardy Boys.
Oh, my.
This was from CBR.com, not me. I didn't make up this list. We had a Lynch, but that was from Kelly. Stick with it later.
Billy?
Oh, Billy Buss is Becky Lynch too. Evidently, he's not a Hardy fan.
Glenn's threatening David.
Yeah, this list is not the best.
Glenn told David, "You better not say Becky laughing my ass off."
Cameron Stewart says she's my favorite. I don't know. Well, right now, I think we got more Beckys.
Sounds like it.
I do too. David says throw that list away.
He said David said Becky on purpose to mess with Glenn.
I like to know what they were smoking when they put that list together because it's kind of.
Yeah. Damien said screw Becky, I believe. It's pretty even. Marcus, what do you think? We're going to break the tie as 3. I think the Hardy.
Yeah, I'm going
You think Hardy's?
Yeah, I'll go with Hardy.
Okay. Okay, we're down to our 8 on this list. So you got Stone Cold against Dusty Rhodes.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damon.
We got
Make up your own list, Damien. Let's see what you
The
come up with.
Hardy Boys versus John Cena.
Oh,
I think it's got to be Cena.
yes. See,
Okay,
you
with
guys
that,
forced me to say Cena, did you?
we had a final four: Stone Cold against Foley, and The Rock against Cena.
Woo, buddy. Think of the three of those were in the same feuds all the time, and then there's Cena. So I'm throwing Cena out altogether and just go with the three.
It's two of my favorites, but I'm going to have to go with Stone Cold over
Think-
Foley.
Think Stone Cold. What do you think, guys? Think it's going to be Stone Cold and The Rock?
Stone Cold over The Rock.
And so Glenn said Austin and Rock, Austin. Okay, guys out there.
Kraft.
Cena.
David Kraft said Cena again.
Okay, who wins between Stone Cold and The Rock? Everybody, that's tough. They're both huge popularity wise.
I'll go Stone Cold.
I think so too, because all the wrestlers I've heard talk said that Stone Cold during that time sold out the stadiums. He was the reason why they sold out the places. Yep. Okay, guys, our next one. This is top 10 baby faces in WWE history, okay? And I've got two of these. This one here is from businessinsiders.com. And it was weird. I'm not going to lie to you. Because the number 8, he wasn't that big in WWE, but that's who they had down. Number 8 against number 9. Sting was number 8. Number 9 is Daniel Bryan.
Well, if you're going WWE, Sting only wrestled the WrestleMania one, right?
That's what I think. I think you got to go with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, if you're going
because Sting was not that big in WWE.
Yeah, I agree.
First guy said Sting.
Oh, I've got Bryan. 2 for Bryan, 1 for Sting.
I think it's got to be Bryan. If you're comparing NWA career against WWE, that's tough. But when you're just talking about Sting, what he did in WWE, I don't think it's even close.
No, but if you talk Sting versus Daniel Bryan as a whole, I'd say Sting.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Yeah. Hey,
you guys knocked that damn wire down and.
So who did they pick? Did they pick Sting or Daniel Bryan? Who are they fighting about that?
They're fighting who wins. Okay, guys, I guess we're going with Daniel Bryan from what we're seeing.
Sadly, we have to. Because of the category.
Next is the 7 to 10 seed. 7 was Dusty Rhodes on theirs, and 10 was Bob Backlund.
Well, Backlund was the champion. Dusty never was there.
True.
I want to go Backlund.
I think Dusty got that polka dot thing over pretty good. I don't know.
What's the crowd say?
Well, we've got a Dusty and a Bob.
Another Dusty.
I think Dusty too, I think.
Another Dusty.
I'm just a common man. Yep, okay, I guess he won then, didn't he?
Okay, that's going to get us to 8. Their number 1 seed was Hulk Hogan, and so he'll be going against Daniel Bryan. I don't think that's going to be close. I think it's going to be Hogan. Number 3 seed was The Rock against the number 6 seed, Steamboat.
Steamboat. That's my pick.
Who is it?
Steamboat, 6 seed against The Rock, number 3 seed. Kelly goes with The Rock. William Rock.
I'm going to go with The Rock. Daniel says Steamboat.
Looks like it's going to be The Rock, guys. This is a tough one. Number 4 seed, which finally he made the list. That was a kind of thing. This dude was a great baby face, and I know it's in the 70s mostly, 60s and 70s. Bruno Sammartino finally made a list. Number 4 against number 5, John Cena.
That's era versus era. Those guys weren't even on the same level of each other. If you're talking Bruno's time, that Cena wouldn't. Man.
Yeah, Sammartino sold out. What was it, Madison Square Garden, like 128 straight times?
Something like that.
But see, it was all regional. He never,
We got Bruno and a Bruno. We got two Brunos on here right now.
for popular, I'd have to go Bruno because he did hold the title forever. But it was a different time.
It was a different time because, I mean, John Cena's probably sold more merchandise than probably anybody.
Probably than Bruno made
Ever,
one
so, I
year,
mean,
yeah.
But then again, they didn't sell that much merchandise back when Bruno was. It wasn't a thing.
You had to go to the arena to get that stuff.
I think it's going to be Bruno in it.
Is it really? Wow.
Next, Dusty Rhodes against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold.
I gotta go Stone Cold.
Yeah, I hate to. I like Dusty. Dusty's one of my favorites. But yeah, I think I got to go Stone
WWE.
Cold.
You put Stone Cold in the NWA, and Dusty's got him. So
Yeah, that's true. So we're down to our final four. And it's a pretty good looking final four. We got the Hawk, Hogan versus Rock, Bruno versus Stone Cold. Let's go to the first matchup. Hogan and Rock, guys. Who was the greater babyface?
Hogan.
We got a Stone Cold. We got a Hogan.
Well, I thought it was Hogan versus The Rock.
Yeah, it was Hogan versus Rock, guys. Help me out here. Hogan versus Rock.
If you're doing Stone Cold,
Okay.
yeah, Stone Cold.
Okay, we got a Rock. We got a Hogan. Yeah, it's gonna be Hogan. Bruno against Stone Cold, guys.
Stone Cold. Man, all it depends on your region. God, I still think
Bruno
it's Stone Cold.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's going Stone Cold. So, guys, Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
I'll say it one more time. Some people may still be on another one. Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold, guys.
Still getting a lot of Stone Colds.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Stone Cold.
There's a Hogan.
We got a Hogan.
Was that David?
No, Damien DeVille.
Looks like to me it's going to be Stone Cold. And I've got one last baby face bracket. It was another weird one, guys. Again, and don't kill the messenger here. Here's a guy making his first appearance, a number 10 seed. You know, when you stop and think about it, he should have probably been on way before. This is from givensport.com. We'll start off with, and then there's another one that went on in the other brackets. Got number 8. You guys gonna kill me. Becky Lynch against number 9, Bret the Hitman Hart. Making his first appearance on any of the brackets.
You know what I'm going to pick? It's going to be Bret.
Yep.
Nothing against Becky Lynch. I like Becky Lynch too, but I don't think she'll out-popular Bret at the pit, though.
Now, this is going to be an interesting one. Number 7 against number 10, making his first appearance on any of the brackets. Number 7, Rey Mysterio, but this guy making his first appearance, number 10, Undertaker.
Taker.
What do you guys think? Taker or Mysterio? I think Taker.
Yeah, I'll say Taker. We're getting mostly Takers.
Okay, we got Taker. Okay, we're down to our 8. Number 1, Stone Cold against number 9, Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, it's weird because Bret the Hitman Hart helped make Stone Cold Steve Austin. What Stone Cold was. He really did.
I'm on Stone Cold.
But I will say, I thought Bret Hart should have been on all these top 10 lists.
No, I agree.
As Bruno should be on all the top 10 lists. I know it's a different time.
Billy says Bret. David says Stone Cold. I thought it's going to be Stone Cold again.
Their number 5 seed on this list was Daniel Bryan against the number 4 seed, John Cena.
Cena.
I think Cena's just, for the amount of time he done it and everything too.
I don't know. You look at all the 5-star matches that Daniel Bryan's been having over in AEW.
Well, that's true
because he never had any in
but
WWE.
you got a moron. You got a moron that gives out them 5 stars. That's a perfect example. They went off on that and busted open day. They could give that Athena match, which was a great match, and Willow Nightingale 5 stars. But he never get Bully went off on that, but he never gave Kurt Angle a 5-star match ever. Number 6 seed Mick Foley against The Rock.
Foley.
You think Foley over The Rock?
That's my pick.
Oh, we got a Rock here. Got another Foley. 2-1. Chris, what do you think? Another Foley. Rock and Foley, Chris.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say Foley just because I was a bigger fan of Foley, but man, The Rock that's a tough one.
This bracket is from givensport.com. Rock, Mick, and it's about tied. What'd you say, Chris?
Foley.
Let me count these up, Chris. 2 Foleys, 2 Rocks, 3. I just feel it's not going to be Foley, guys. Then we've got number 10 Undertaker versus number 2 Hulk Hogan.
Thanksgiving Christmas. We'll have to go Hogan.
Lynn went with Taker. Lynn said Taker because he get ready to go see Taker. I think as a longevity Taker, man, in the WWE all those years, but Lynn said he'll die on that hill. Daniel Fuel says Hogan. I think we're about even on that right now. Nope. Quite a few takers, don't we? 1, 2, 3.
So we have 4 Takers and 2 Hogans.
Yep. I think I'm going to go with Taker then. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Okay, we're going to have Stone Cold versus Cena and Foley versus Taker.
I'm going to do Stone Cold and Taker.
See what the people say here. We got Glenn saying Stone Cold Taker. He agrees with you. We got Foley and Taker and Stone Cold and Cena.
Looks like it's going to be Stone Cold and Taker.
What's it looking like right now? A lot of people liking Taker. Okay, guys. Finals of this bracket, and the last bracket. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Taker for best babyface in WWE history. We got 2 Takers. Another Taker. Look like everybody loving the Taker, man, on this one.
Daniel says Stone Cold.
Well, Stone Cold. Okay, yeah, Stone Cold. Another Taker. Another Taker. It's going to be Taker, guys. And that's what's weird because out of these 4 lists, that was the only list that Taker made it, and he made it as a number 10 seed. Chris, why don't you and Marcus talk for a second because I want to go grab my paper. I forgot to bring it in what we're doing next week.
Okay.
You guys find something to talk.
Glenn said Taker speed Should have been a 2 or a 1 seed.
Well, Taker's
Damien
got the
says
best character, especially for longevity too. I mean, 30 years he's
Yeah.
been the only. I mean, he recreated it a few times, but to be the Undertaker the entire time. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that. Yeah, because he was always, always the Taker, just a couple different variations of it.
What was your favorite version? What was your favorite version of Taker?
Mine?
Yep.
When he rode the motorcycle. Can't think what it was called at the time.
American Badass.
Yes,
American
that's
Badass.
it. That's my favorite time.
Yep.
That was created in Louisville, Kentucky.
What are you doing, Chris?
What are you doing, Chris?
He was
Anyhow, American Badass.
He was messing with a potato chip clip, and he broke it. It hurt, didn't it? Why don't you do that again? Want me to go get you another one?
What the fuck?
So anyhow,
What the hell was
the
that?
pay-per-view that was in Louisville, Kentucky is when the Taker debuted as the American Badass. And the Monday Night Raw right after it was in Indianapolis, and Kelly and I was there for that.
Oh, cool. Well, that kind of segues to something that I have down here. So, first of all, next week, what we're going to be doing an independent wrestling update with DCCW, WCWO, and I know Summit Pro, because we're going to be at Summit Pro also. We'll be at DCCW on Wednesday. I'm sure Marcus will be at WCWO on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure about us yet. Also, Saturday night, SummerSlam happens. We'll be talking about that some on Monday. And this was one of the things he was talking about. I was going to ask you guys to think back, and I was talking more about WWF, WWE, ECW, or WCW matches that you've seen live. Your favorite matches that you've seen live.
Sing live, like in person live.
In person live.
Oh, wow, that'd be fun.
And however many you want to come up with from whatever promotions you want to come up with. And then I have
I've never seen a match live.
I already know what you're going to pick number one, and I already know what I'm going to pick number one. It'll be the
Well,
same
I know
thing.
Hogan won't be on your guys' list, but
No, we never got to see Hogan live, that piece of crap. Sorry, Hulk Hogan couldn't make it tonight. Sorry, Hulk Hogan couldn't make it tonight. That's not the same night, guys. It's a different. Sorry, Hulk Hogan didn't make it tonight. We'll give you your money back. And I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. Oh, we don't want to leave. Son of a.
ooh, I got a bunch coming to my head right now.
And I've got a list of who was better, and it's the AWA version, AWA. And this is going to be, I think, interesting. And then we'll have more from Marcus' series of Born in Indiana Wrestlers, segment 2. So we'll have all that next Monday. I thought it was a good show tonight, guys.
You guys are going to be surprised who was born in Indiana.
Yeah.
I gave a list of names to Tony, and he was as shocked as I was with the set of names that I see that was on that list. Yep. And you guys can go Google it, and you probably will drop your mouth if you didn't already notice, too, when those names come up.
Hey, Glenn, I have a question for you. What's the best wrestling match that you've seen live, either WWE, AEW, AEW, whatever promotion, bigger promotions? Glenn, can you tell me?
And did you pay to get in, or did you get in free because you won a contest?
Well, it was probably free because he wins every contest.
We love your luck there, Glenn.
Damien, you was at that Brett versus. We was talking about that you've seen live, but you was at Brett versus Austin at 13.
Really? Was you at WrestleMania 13? Where was that one at? Michigan?
I don't remember where 13 was at. Yeah, Damien was there. Damien DeVille was there.
Where was it, Damien? Was it up in Detroit or somewhere?
I don't remember.
Or Chicago?
Glenn Richards says Rosemount Horizon.
Yeah, because I knew they had one in Chicago.
So, Glenn, did you have a favorite match? I didn't see. Oh, SummerSlam. Is that Glenn, Chris?
Huh?
Is that Glenn saying that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was Glenn.
Okay. SummerSlam, the Hell in the Cell.
Was that in Indy?
Glenn was at that. Yeah, 2008. Edge and Taker. We was there. Me and Chris was there too.
I wasn't.
So I think that'll be fun. Best matches we've seen live. And like I said, we got the AWA list I've got for who was better. And again, like I said, Marcus is Indiana Wrestler. So
Plus a recap of all the shows we're going to.
yeah, we got a lot going on this week. Yeah, Piper and Brett would be all. Well, yeah, you've seen that, didn't you, Marcus?
No, I wasn't there live. No,
Oh, I thought you was at
no, I
that
was
one.
at WrestleMania 8.
Okay.
Damien said he was at that 8 as well.
Damien, was you at Hogan and Andre?
WrestleMania 3, Detroit.
Well, I was thinking Hogan and Andre main event, the rematch.
Yeah,
Indy.
Billy Ray tells a story about that Detroit one that he was there. He was at Detroit with his uncles and stuff. They drove up from Jersey or wherever he's from, and he seen that match, and he told his dad and his dad's brother and stuff, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a professional wrestler. I'm gonna wrestle on WWE, and I'm gonna wrestle at WrestleMania. And his uncle told him he was a damn idiot. He was a little idiot. He wasn't gonna wrestle, be a pro wrestler. This Billy Ray proved the bro, did he? What was that about? Something seen Bruno's what? I think somebody was slamming on David. Was that what?
What did Dave do now?
Oh, Lynn saying that David probably seen Bruno's first title run.
Well, that's possible. Dave'd be old enough for that, I would think.
What are you trying to say, Marcus? You trying to say David's old as dirt?
David will say he's older than dirt. I don't badmouth anybody's age unless they do it themselves.
That's true.
And David's seen quite a bit live too. Yeah. When we do our Dick the Bruiser segment, whenever that is, we ought to bring David in to help us with that, since he's
well. So everybody knows. I mean, I said the big leagues, but the fact that I'm older than even you, Marcus. I mean, you wasn't around you didn't go to the 70 Bruiser stuff, but I'm going to use some of that stuff on mine because I seen Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza, and I've seen these legends, so I'm going to use some of that on my list. So
yeah, I would bring David in if he's willing to do it, because he too has seen a lot of that in person.
We've seen the AWA show here in Anderson. Seen a lot of people on that. Scott Hall, Kurt Hennig.
I've seen one in Indy.
What was cool, you got to actually see some ECW. That was something I never got to see.
You talk about a whole different environment.
Oh yeah, I bet. And
About a bunch of woo.
Could you imagine though if you'd have went to Philly and seen it?
I don't know. I think Indy just did just as well as. Yeah, those fans were nuts.
Well, all right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. I think we had a good show tonight.
Yeah, I thought it went real well. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like, follow, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo's Sports Room. We appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back on Monday with another episode of G.W.R. Wednesday night, no, we'll be at DCCW. Not sure if we'll be able to go live or not. It just depends on the internet. And then Sunday at Summit Pro. So we will be live for that one. But then we'll be back Monday night with another episode of GWR. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is G.W.R. show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.